Hola, hola, ¿qué tal? Yo soy Mireya Ruiz y esto es Extranjeras en el extranjero. El día de hoy vamos a dar inicio con esta entrevista que tenemos. Esta entrevista va a estar maravillosa. Es a Gaby Gómez Ferrer. Ella es una mexicana que radica en Sudáfrica y nos va a platicar toda esa maravillosa historia que ha tenido. Ahora que, cuando nos va a platicar por qué motivo se fue a vivir a Sudáfrica, qué es lo que eh, la hicieron que fuera para allá y cómo se ha desarrollado. Bueno, esta entrevista la vamos a hacer en inglés, entonces, pues vamos a comenzar. Hola Gaby, ¿cómo estás? Hello Gaby, how are you doing?
Hi, thank you so much for having me today and also for making this interview in English so the people here in South Africa could understand what we were going to be talking about.
No, perfect. It's amazing because, I'm going to explain you how I knew about Gaby. There was a post in Facebook related to like kind of a present or reward that Gaby achieved because of what she has been doing in South Africa. So it's an amazing story. You will hear about this. I read some couple of texts with the information of Gaby, and it's amazing that the biggest step that she did, and also the way to take the decision to move to South Africa, that it was totally different country, and that maybe in Mexico we are used to hear that somebody moves to Europe or somebody moves to the United States or maybe in the same Latin America, but like moving to another continent that it's not too known in Mexico and that you don't hear frequently that somebody moves there, it's kind of strange. She will tell us what was which were her feelings in that moment. But first of all, I'm going to read you a summary of Gaby so you can have an idea of who is her. Let me hold on, please. Okay. Hello, my name is Gaby Gómez Ferrer. I was born in Mexico City. I'm a speech therapist, and 25 years ago, I immigrated to South Africa together with my husband and two small children. A couple of years after moving to Johannesburg, we had the opportunity to purchase a corn tortilla machine, and that is how Azteca Mexican Products was born. The first tortilla factory in Africa, at the same time, the knowledge of a Mexican food. In South Africa was quite fine. Intent in 1996 was not available to everybody. For me, Azteca has been the perfect platform to promote my beautiful country, its folklore and traditions. Azteca has never stopped growing, and today, 23 years later, our business is well consolidated, not only in South Africa, but also in neighboring countries. We have incorporated more machines, open a shop with a wide variety of imported Mexican items, and do online sales to every corner of the country. Most importantly, we have become an important pillar for the Mexican and Latin community. It's great to see our shop considered as a meeting point for all new consumers and expats. I am really blessed, and as I love my job, not only because I get to represent Mexico on a daily basis, I'm able to help, assist, and lend a hand to people that have just arrived to this country, and also because I can empower my workers, as most of them are women. Wow, amazing. So, Gaby, thank you very much for joining us. Well, I just want to remember you that we are going to record this live in Instagram and then share it in Facebook and in YouTube. So you are allowed to say whatever you want. And also, if you don't want to answer any question, it's okay. Okay? So just feel free to say whatever you want.
Perfect.
Okay?
Let's
Well,
okay. You know, it's amazing that people are actually interested in my story. You know, it's my daily life, and you know, it's very, makes me very, very humble that people are interested in it.
Well, no, Gaby, because it's really, really amazing. And I think that also this story will be really inspiring for a lot of people because, well, in the past interviews that I already had with other women, they told us about all the obstacles that they pass, but something that were really, something that they share was like the love and the passion and the mindset change in order to grow and also to bring that Mexican culture to the place where they are living now and also to promote that. So, Gaby, if you want to tell us since the beginning, how was this, in which moment your husband told you to move, and also, well, tell us since the beginning, what happened, why you moved there?
So just, you know, taking you back in time, we're talking 1995, okay? So remember South Africa at that time, it was a time where it was really, really changing and moving. Mandela was just gaining power, and South Africa was actually open up into the world. My husband in Mexico was working for an American company, and in Mexico he was actually doing food for McDonald's. So at that time, McDonald's wants to open up in South Africa, and they are looking to, you know, for investors and suppliers. So they invited him to actually come and open up a factory for manufacturing manufacturing the sauces for McDonald's. And, you know, sauces, tomato sauce, barbecue, syrups, salad dressings, you know, those kind of products. So he came to me, well, at that time in Mexico, my two kids were already born. Hector was 5, and Ana Sofia was 2. And Mexico City was already a difficult city to live in. Crowded, polluted, you know, I love Mexico. And it's, you know, for me, Mexico is like the best place in the world. But, you know, having a family, Mexico City was a little bit of a challenge. My kids were, because of the pollution already, they were, you know, sick, and, you know, it was not easy to live there. And we wanted to move from Mexico City. And one day he just came to me and said, listen, there is this opportunity to go to South Africa. You want to go? And I said, sure, you know, let's go. It was 1995, there was no internet. So it was not like open Google and go and see, you know, what is South Africa like? Where is it? I mean, you have an idea of where the country is, but, you know, all these little details you really don't know. You know that Johannesburg was this, but there was a lot of things going on because, you know, the transition that South Africa was having at that time. So I said, okay, you know, let's go and see. If we like it, then, you know, you sign the contract. If not, we just, you know, come back. And then we came here for a couple of weeks. They brought us, you know, in a scouting tour, and we loved it. You know, it's a beautiful country. You have, you know, blue sky every day, and you get the opportunity to have a big house with a swimming pool. And, you know, this is normal things for South Africa. And the city of Johannesburg, I mean, it has everything, and it's large, and, well, it's really, really beautiful. And the climate is really nice, and the people here are nice. And we said, okay, we came here to South Africa, and, well, you know, we got established. And at the beginning, I was not working, you know, because of my job. I'm a speech therapist.
Sorry, Gaby, but just to have a better idea, the day that your husband told you about this proposal or this opportunity, what was your idea about South Africa? I mean, maybe before you hear something, learn something, or maybe see watch a TV show explaining something about South Africa, but what was your idea about South Africa in that moment?
The idea that I had about South Africa was riots and war and people, because of the apartheid and, blacks and whites and racial problems. That's the idea that I had, because that's the idea that the TV and all these documentaries give to you. And also, you think South Africa, then you think lions and elephants, animals, wildlife. That's what's, the thing that we actually knew about South Africa. It's the same when we came here, people, South Africans would look at us and they were like thinking, okay, where is the sombrero?
Yeah, for sure.
Mexican, so where is your sombrero and the tequila? Those kind of things that
those paradigms, yeah.
Paradigms, yeah, that, portrayed you as a person from any country. That was the idea that we had from South Africa.
Okay, perfect. Well, okay, so continue, please. So then when you arrived, you were really happy because of all the country, what you see, and then, when you moved there, how many days passed when you now realized that you were in a different country and that you wanted to do something for you? I mean, to work in something, to develop that professional part, or how was it?
I've always said that when you are in life, opportunities present themselves and you have to say yes. In that exact minute is when you have to say yes to the opportunity. So saying yes to coming to South Africa, was the first one. And then after about a year and a half that we were living here, the Mexican embassy organized a Mexican fiesta in a very important place. At that time it was called the Salton, in the Salton Square, but now it's called Mandela Square. It's a very nice place where a lot of, in the heart of Johannesburg, and they were going to bring in, people from the range of doing tequila and arts and crafts and food and dresses, textiles, candy. And there was a machine coming, a tortilla making machine coming for this fiesta. The Mexican embassy approached Hector, my husband, and he asked him if he would be able to assist in setting up the machine at that park and actually manufacture the tortillas. Because, the South African embassy, they knew that Hector was involved with machinery, with food, with all these kind of things. So they said, listen, can you please assist us, on the setup of the machine? So he said, okay, sure. He had to get the electricity and the water and the gas, all of these connections for them to actually be running. The machine came with a worker that was going to actually run the tortillas and with all the maseca, which is, the corn flour. And then I was also there. I said, listen, but the tortillas are going to be coming out and you are going to you need somebody to actually explain to the people that are going to be there what a tortilla is. Because at that time, people, they really had no idea what tortillas were. So yeah. So they said, okay, yeah, sure, cool, no? Please do your job, and you're going to be the best person to be able to explain what is coming out from that tortilla.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, from the machine. And the good thing is that there was a restaurant, a Mexican restaurant that sells tacos. It was a Taco Inn. And they were going to be making tacos al pastor and all these things. So they actually needed the tortilla out immediately to be able to serve tacos. So it was amazing. I had the best time of my life with this machine. being able to portray Mexico as it was, and with the mariachi singing and all these South Africans, a lot of them have never in their life seen a Mexican person. Never. So I was like we were the first Mexican person that they would see. A tortilla, this is a tortilla, this is how you eat it, the tequila and the mezcal. So it was really, really nice. We had a very, very good time. And after the fiesta, well, the machine was there. So now what are they going to do with the machine? So, we said, hey, why don't we actually, buy the machine? And then, because we saw that there was a lot of interest, let's buy the machine. We set it up in a small place, and we spoke to the people in Mexico. The machine was already on the other side of the world. It was a used machine, only if it had been used for 7 days. So they said, okay, we came to pretty good bargain with them. We bought it for a nice price, and we set it up in a small, tiny little place. And the guy that came with that machine, he trained us how to use it, how to do this. We hired somebody to start working with the machine, and we started. So that was a time where I actually started knocking doors and, going to different restaurants. And at that, in that fiesta, we actually met one of our first customers. It's brand called Banditos, and they're still around. And we started making nachos for them. So what we would do is the tortilla, we would cut it in 4 and then deep fry it, and then you would have what we call in Mexico totopos. Nachos. So these guys, they were selling salsas, so it was the best pairing of our nachos to their salsas. And they were the first ones to be our customers. And it was a matter of that time to start showing people what Mexico is, where is Mexico, how do we eat in Mexico. And because a lot of them just think, oh no, Mexico is so hot. The Mexican food, it's very hot. No. So, it's not that. It's so much more than what that is. So it was, the first opportunity I had to actually start using, my business as a platform for portraying what Mexico really, really is.
Wow, and before that, when you were in Mexico, I think that when your husband told you about this opportunity, you already received your certification about therapist. Is that correct? It was. So before that, in Mexico, did you had a business? Did you sometime work selling something, or you didn't have any idea of that?
You know what? I always sold stuff. I didn't really have to, but it was just, my mom said that I had a little bit of like a Jewish, thing. What we say in Mexico things. So I was always selling things, like cookies, and then in Christmas, Hector, because of where he was working, he would get me the turkeys. So I would sell turkeys for Christmas, and bags, and all these kind of things. I was always.
Okay. So you already had the mindset of selling and promoting products. So okay. So it was perfect because you already had that.
I was not a shy person. I was not scared to go and show what I'm selling now. And on the other side, I already had my certification, my speech therapy certification. So I was working, at a hospital, mainly with kids, that had speech problems or hearing problems. And so, that was like a little bit, but my kids were small. So I wanted to be more of a mother than actually a working mom. So I was stay-at-home mom, more to be with them.
Okay, and at the beginning when you arrived to South Africa, it was kind of like 1 year and a half before this happened of the corn tortilla machine. In that moment, which were the activities that you were doing? I mean, beside being the working at home with your taking care of your kids and your husband, did you had another job, or did you work in something in that moment?
Yeah, I had a couple of kids and I was teaching them Spanish. So I had a little group
Okay.
of Spanish classes to kids. And then it was a really nice time to get to know the country. So I started taking yoga lessons and tennis lessons and a whole of bunch of these little things that I was not able to do in Mexico, because it was such a hectic city and you didn't really have that time. So,
Yeah.
that's why or other friends that they wanted a piñata, so I said, no, don't worry, I'll make you the piñata. So I was making piñata, and it was a very small community of Mexicans at that time, and we were very close together, and we still are. When you are out of Mexico, your friends become your actual family. No?
Yeah.
You make a very special network with these friends. So we would get together and we would make like tamales, for example. In Mexico, in my life, I've never ever made tamales. I mean, it was here that, you crave Mexican food so much that, okay, you wanted to start making tamales and, those things that in Mexico you don't really do, like carnitas and, those things. So together and do a cooking lesson and that's how I learned to make a lot of Mexican food I have in my life made in Mexico before.
Oh, that is amazing. And well, about your relation with other people, was easy for you to join the country, to join a different culture, new people, new maybe friends? Was easy for you, or it's difficult for a foreigner to get into the South African culture?
It's been a little bit of a challenge learning how it works in South Africa. Obviously, there are many racial issues here still, and in Mexico we're all the same color, everybody. So that it's not any different at all. And over here, the white people, the white coming, the Africans people, and then you have to live here to actually understand how all of this works. And then, the black people, and just in the black people, they have 7 different languages between them.
Yeah.
Different tribes. So you have to learn how to do this. For example, the people that we started employing at the factory, they were all coming from more or less of the same place, so there wouldn't be problems or challenges between them. And then where you're going in the car, there's places where you shouldn't go, or it's not like in Mexico that you are everywhere, but here you stay in an area and you don't to other places. And also food, it was quite challenging because there's very different food that I've never seen in my life, and then you want to try and want to see how does this work, or how do you eat it. So it was really very interesting. And also the wildlife, going to the safaris and doing this, and having an elephant like this close to you, or lion, just roaring there, or at night when you are scouting for the animals, those kind of things, they were so interesting. And we would actually do this every weekend. We would go out of the city to be able to, because we didn't know how long we were going to live here. We wanted to actually embrace the country and really get to know it.
And based on what you have seen in these 23 years, is that correct? That you've got there? 25. Right. So, do you imagine that maybe you could return to Mexico, or for you and your husband, the idea is to stay in South Africa?
It's a little bit difficult question, that one. I I would, we've talked about it, and I wouldn't want my bones to be buried here, you know. Honestly, you don't even know when that's going to happen. Uh, Unfortunately, Mexico is going through a very rough time right now, and
Yes.
so you don't know if you want to go back, um, because obviously, this is our home, and this is where our main income is coming from. So it's a little bit difficult. I probably, my last days, I would love to go back to Mexico and stay in a little. We always said in a Oaxaca, in a little city right by the ocean, and very low profile life, probably something like that. But I don't know. No, my kids are here, and then we're gonna go there and leave my kids, or so it would be a little bit difficult. So I don't know. Right now,
And
taking it as it
and for
goes.
your children, how easy or difficult was for them when they were very young in that moment when you moved, but was easy for them to enter to school, or you need to do a lot of paperwork in order that they could begin studying there?
The good thing is that they were very young. They were 2 and 5. So, they went to a little nursery school, and the teachers were so helpful. Really, I didn't even know where to go and buy things or anything. It was a good thing that we ended up buying a house in a good area, which we didn't even know.
Mhm.
One thing that the first weekend that we went out to look for a house, Hector said, "No, we're going to buy this house," and I was so mad because I said, "You don't even know the city. You don't even know." So, it turned out to be a good area, and the school that I took my kids to, it was fantastic, and the teachers were very, very friendly. I made very good friends with the parents of my kids' friends, and they were actually the people that to say, okay, I need to buy meat. Where do I go and buy meat, or how do you pull this type of meat in here, because they have all these, or you need, a pediatrician or a doctor or a dentist. So these people, they were very, very helpful, and they were able to help me so much. And another thing that really helped is that we spoke English already. So that was a big, big plus, because I've
Yeah.
seen Mexicans that come and they don't speak English, and it's really challenging. It's really difficult.
Yeah.
It's difficult to understand the accent of the South African.
Yeah, because it's a mix between like kind of it's not like the American English, it's more like when I remember that I was there, it was like an accent of Dutch and the English, and also when they mix some words in Afrikaans. And for me, sometimes it was difficult to understand, but I need to focus with a lot of concentration on what they were saying, because if not, I was lost.
Yeah, lost. And there are a lot of words that have different meanings, so you have to learn these specific meanings now for the different words. It was funny because one day we had just recently moved here, and we were sitting in a bar, and the table behind us, there was a couple of American people. And then I told Hector, "Hey, shh, listen to them. I can understand everything that they are saying."
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is like so easy. Yeah, because you really have, at that time, you had to really listen and ask them if you were actually understanding the meaning of what they were saying, just to make sure. Because, yeah, their English, it's like you're saying, a combination of the Afrikaans and the Dutch the black languages, it's difficult. It is difficult.
And how is the communication between you and the people that work for you in the production of tortillas? I mean, you speak with them in English, or is there somebody that speaks English and maybe another tongue that he explains to the people? How is that communication?
No, we speak in English. Yeah, that's the basic language between us. But when you actually want them to understand something, you do have to bring in a translator, just to make sure that they are understanding what you are saying. For example, if it is something that has to do with, some paperwork, or with the pension fund, or something like that, that is quite, or if it's a training session, because we do training very often, like firefighting and first aid and all these things. So for that, we do bring somebody that would speak in their own language. Yeah, definitely. It's mainly Zulu or Sutu, what they speak.
Okay, and about the legal requirements that you needed to accomplish in order to begin with your business, was it easy or difficult to you to begin working on that? And if it take too much time in order that you could begin with the business?
That's an excellent question, because I was very lucky. Hector remember, he was already coming here to open up this food manufacturing business. So yeah, everything that he was, people that he was working with in that business, we were able to actually, also take it to the other business.
Yeah, for sure. You have to replicate what you were doing after. Excellent.
If he had used somebody, I don't know, for building the drains in that other factory, then we would be able to use that same person, or anything that had to do with as a supplier, or of cardboard or anything like that, then we will use that same person in this other business. Because he was obviously working with South Africans. He was not on his own, so he was already, there was a team of South Africans when he came. So, that helped a lot. I always say that the company name was Mullins. So I always say that they were like my big brother. Because there were thousands and thousands of boxes, for example. And then I was given the price. If I was only buying 100, then I was getting the price of 1,000. So
yeah, that was perfect. And how easy has been for you to find suppliers that, or I don't know if you, to find local suppliers, or if you need to import things from Mexico or from other countries? How is it?
We do use local suppliers for a lot of our products. Obviously, for the maseca, which is one of our prime ingredients for making nachos and tortillas, we do bring it right now we are bringing it from a maseca factory that is set in Italy. That's where we're bringing it from. Wow. It is maseca, but it's based there. At the beginning, we used to bring it from the United States, but obviously the logistics is so much easier to bring it from Italy. It's so much closer. And we also do have the factory, the shop, and we are bringing in a wide range of Mexican products: salsa, sauces, beans, sweets, chilies, whatever, and all of those we do bring from Mexico. Yeah.
You have now a diversity of products, because you began with the corn tortillas, but now you are selling different products from Mexico, as you mentioned. Now, which is the next step? What would you like in the future to do? Maybe to have a Mexican restaurant, or it's not part of your or your projects?
No, it's really not. So you see, when we started, it was just corn tortillas. That's how we actually started. Then a couple of years later, we saw that the need in South Africa was for wheat tortillas, you know, for making wraps and quesadillas and all of those things. So then we incorporated that machine. We brought a machine from Guadalajara, actually, for making the wheat tortillas. So then we had to move to bigger premises. Then it was going really well, so we had to buy another machine for making more corn tortillas and nachos. So we had to move to another premises because we didn't have enough space. And right now, this is the fourth move. We started also making all the nixtamalization process ourselves in order to be able to import less maseca and use more local products. So, you know, there's a lot of maize in South Africa. So we use that maize. We nixtamalize it, you know, the same process that was invented by
in Mexico
years ago with the lime water. So we had to move to bigger premises. And I'm saying this is the last move. I'm not moving again. This is, you know, it's an act. Then, because a lot of people were actually asking us about, hey, I want salsas, and I want this, and I want that. So then that's when we started to actually looking at the possibility of importing more products, and that's when we opened the shop. So that was about 4 years ago. We opened, it's a tiny little shop. So that was, you know, the next step. Then the next step at that time was starting an online sales. So it's amazing to see tens of, you know, parcels every day going to all the corners of South Africa. It's amazing because, for example, there's people that actually want to make their own corn tortillas. So they don't want to make, you know, don't want to buy the corn tortillas. So we started importing, you know, the presses for making the corn tortillas, and we sell so many corn tortilla, the presses.
The press.
So we have the, you know, the kits where you get the press and the maseca, you know, the masa harina, how they call it here.
Yeah, the flour.
And the, you know, the tortilla warmer. So, you know, we sell like kits like that, or, you know, any kind of different products, and we just, you know, pack it up and they go out every day to all the corners of the country. So that is amazing. And don't think that there are a lot of Mexican restaurants here. I wish there were a lot more, and that they could be a lot more Mexican, because they are a little bit more to the Tex-Mex. South Africans, they like to South Africanize everything. So, you know, even if sushi, it's sushi, you know, South African way, or if it's
because all the diversity of cultures that you have in South Africa. So yeah, I can imagine.
So even, even if it's a hamburger, you know, a pizza, whatever. So there are not so many Mexican restaurants here, but there are a lot of restaurants that, not being Mexican, but they have nachos in their menu, or they have a wrap, or they have a quesadilla, or, for example, right now, the chipotle, you know, the chipotle chili is just being so, you know, in fashion. So they want to make a chipotle mayo, or they want to, you know, things, they want to do chiles rellenos in their menu. So we also bring chiles rellenos. So it's a fun variety. And then that's where I love my job, because then I go to the kitchens of the restaurants, and I, you know, talk to the people that are actually making the dishes, and show them how to heat it up and how to do this, and the chili, you know, you have to first roast it and then put it in water. So that's how, what I really like every day, being, you know, involved with people that are interested in the food, and, you know, in the Mexican food. And then another thing is that, for example, our shop is in the same building as the factory. You know, it's a three-story factory. So in the top story and the second story, that's where the shop is. But it's not like in a shopping center where you're just, you know, walking and then you see, oh, let's go into that Mexican shop. Just go into the Mexican shop. No, so to go to the shop, it's actually a little trip. It's in Midrand, and Midrand is right in between Johannesburg and Pretoria. But you actually have to do the trip to go. So when people go there, I just try to give them the best experience because they are making an effort to go.
Yeah.
You know? They're really, really making an effort. So I just need to, you know, and then, you know, we start talking about things. And so it's the shop for me, it's just amazing because it just brings people that are so interested. Even if they want to make, I don't know, chili con carne, whatever they want to make, but they are interested and they want to do something Mexican. So it's a really good opportunity to portray what the real Mexico is. Not just like we were talking, you know, about the sombrero and a lot of chile and
Yeah.
those. Yeah.
You are sharing part of the culture and also the real Mexican culture. Because as you mentioned, in a lot of countries, the paradigm that they've got about Mexicans is to have like the big sombrero and to be seated close to a nopal and to have a donkey in the side. So when people realize that we are not in that way, that we are people that like to work, that are passionate about doing things, about sharing our culture. So it's amazing to change that mindset of the people. And also that they, while they are learning, they are loving more our culture, and that is, well, beautiful and amazing. So congratulations because of all the things that you have doing. And also it's amazing to hear you, how you speak what you are doing and the passionate that you are about that, because it's something that, well, if I hear you, for sure I want to buy your products. Why? Because you mentioned them and you explained what you're doing with that energy. That said, oh, for sure they're going to be very good, and also the service will be excellent. So, well, it's amazing, and I think that God put you in the perfect place at the perfect moment. And well, I think that you are beginning with more and more things that you will do, and that will be obviously successful as these ones that you have done. And well, Gaby, what could you like to share with the people that are thinking or are that in this moment they need to take the decision to move to another country, or to take that big step to begin with a business, or that they have that idea but they are like a little bit worried, or that they haven't taken the decision?
Yeah, I say go for it, because you know I just feel that if you don't take, when an opportunity presents itself and you don't take it, then years later you're going to regret, and you're going to have in your mind the what if. And I think that living with that, it must be horrible. So take a decision, make it work, give it your best, give it really, really work for it. If it doesn't work, then it didn't work, but at least you're not going to be asking yourself, I didn't do it, and what if I had done it? So if just go for it. You know, it's like you're also living outside of Mexico, and there are so many Mexicans out, or so many people, you know, and right now the world is upside down, and we have to make plan Bs, plan B, plan B, plan B every time. So yeah, go for it. That's what I would say, and don't regret anything in your life.
If you can make some differences between Gaby in Mexico and now Gaby that is in South Africa with all of this new business and this knowledge, which are the three things that make difference between those two Gabys?
The Gaby that was in Mexico
In
25 years.
Mexico, yeah, and the actual Gaby.
That's a tough one. You know what? I was kind of afraid when I turned 40 because I used to look at the 40-year-old ladies and I would say, oh my gosh, she's like already 40. But when I'm 40, I think 40, I'm 50 plus now, but I think you get very wise and you do really give importance to the things that are important. And then you really become yourself. So I think, that's maybe one of the things that I think I'm a little bit wiser. I also had the opportunity to have my kids. I got married very young, and my kids also, they were very young. My son is 30, and my daughter is 27. And actually, my son Hector Jr., he works with us at the factory now, at the shop. So we're very close. It's because we are still, I'm still their mom, but we are, we are very good friends. And I think that's also a very different things, from the Gaby that was in Mexico at this Gaby that, the closeness that I have with my children is very, very special. And you get to learn a lot from them because now, with all these internet and computer things, they are the ones that actually show you a lot of things. So you become a little bit humble to say, okay, you know more than I do, right? Yeah. So that would be the second thing. And I don't know about the third thing. It's just be, take the opportunity to keep on growing, and then don't get stuck, and be more every day. Try to be more and be better.
Perfect. No, it's perfect because also, each person is different and has a different point of view based on his or her experience and also what he or she passed. So it's great to hear that about you. And well, Gaby, what do you want to share with your possible customers, actual customers, the people that are here with us in this live, and also the ones that will see the video later?
Well, at Azteca, we are very proud of what we do. We're like, just being proud Mexicans. That we always strive to give the best service ever that we can to our customers. South Africa is, there's a little bit of a challenge sometimes, there's a lot of people, it's a third world country, but in a first world mind of people, and you get to a lot of challenges sometimes, So we always strive to give, the best service ever, and come to Azteca. We are also, trying to do different things, like cooking demos and workshops. We had a make your own tortilla corn shop. Workshops. So, we're just trying to diversify. It's a very tough right now. We are in level 4, so the restaurants are closed, but they just opened. But it's been very tough because we mainly hospitality industry, and that's the one that has been hit the most. Schools, restaurants, catering businesses. So it's been really, really tough. Last year we had to let go about 10 of our workers. So it was horrible to let them go. But we're trying to diversify, and we need to support each other right now. It's a time in this country that we need all to support, not only in the whole world. We need to support each other and then see, just diversify, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and now they have the opportunity also to buy your products in internet, so it's easier. I understand that the situation is a little bit critical, maybe not just in South Africa, I think that the whole world. But right now, the good thing is that we have that access to internet, that we can buy those products, and also that now it's going to be easier for the people that live in South Africa to buy those products instead of calling or buying somebody else in maybe America, Europe, in other countries. So you have there the opportunity, and as you heard Gaby, she's an amazing person. For sure, she will give you an excellent service. And Gaby, can you repeat us all the different products that you sell?
Which, well,
Like the aperitif?
Yeah, well, mainly we do sell nachos, taco shells, corn tortillas, and right now, well, those are made obviously from corn, so gluten-free items are like very important at this moment. And we also do the wheat tortilla for making the wraps and what they call here in South Africa the soft tacos. And we are importing from Mexico around more than 80 different products from Mexico. La costeña, we grew with La Costeña products all our life, and mainly it's the range that we are bringing in, different salsas and beans and the jalapenos, chilies, dried chilies, cooking sauces, moles. Yeah, it's a wide variety of things.
Okay, so if you want to prepare a Mexican dinner or a Mexican food, so there you can buy everything what you need.
If you go to our website, there are a lot of recipes, which they're not my recipes, but I have adapted those recipes to the products that you do find here in South Africa, and with the products that we are bringing in. And they're pretty good recipes, all tried, and I love my recipes.
Excellent. So what else do you want? Do you have the recipes? Do you have the contact to buy all the products that you need? So just contact Gaby. Can you tell us which is the website and also where we can find you in the social media, please?
Yes, our website is www.azteca.coza, and then where you can find us as well on Instagram, Facebook. Our Facebook is Azteca South Africa. That's our Facebook page. We are very active there. We're always posting new recipes, and also on the Instagram, we're also posting a lot of different recipes and fun stuff, because Mexico is about it's about being fun, So we love and we just put the board outside on the street, and it's a huge board. It's like 4x4, and it has a zarape, a painted zarape on one and a piñata on the other side, so people cannot miss it. If you're driving on Richards Drive, just across from Gallagher, you will see this huge, beautiful sign with a huge piñata. It's brand new, and it's just enough to bring in people, just to that's what Mexico is. And then if you come in, we always have music, and we cannot do it right now, but maybe sometimes we open a little bit of a salsa, and then the nachos for dipping in.
To try it, yeah.
Chocolates, right now that is freezing here. A little bit of hot chocolate to do, and the nice thing also is that the shop is becoming like meeting point for the Latin community. There's so many people that they come, and it's like, oh, you're Mexican, I'm also Mexican. Or they just arrived to the country and they had Googled before Mexican food in South Africa, and here, we come up, and, they call us before they call the embassy. I promise you.
Well, so you have everything there. So contact Gaby. Now you have the social media. So join the website, join Facebook, Instagram to learn more about what they are selling and also the recipes, because for sure you will enjoy Mexican food. Thank you very much, Gaby, for your time and also for sharing with us your experience, all what you live in those years. That for sure it's an inspiring story, and I think that will be really, really, really useful for a lot of people that are thinking or that are deciding to move to another country or to begin a business. So I think that if you have the idea and you have also that that passion to grow, for sure you can do everything that you want. If you dream it, you can get it. So go for it, as Gaby said. Thank you very much. And well, whenever you want, Gaby, if you want to share information with us, for sure we can share it with all the people that that see our social media. Ahí, bueno, pues muchas gracias a todos. Esto es Extranjeras en el extranjero. Deseo que les haya parecido inspirada esta entrevista y por favor continúen con nosotros en nuestras redes sociales, en Instagram, @extranjeras en el, Facebook, mire Extra en el Ex, y en YouTube, Extranjeras en el extranjero. Muchas gracias, Gaby, y un beso para todos.
Ay, cuídate.
Gracias, bye.